Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, the Tanya Takeover, where I'm your girl Tanya. Today we are getting into the tea on how I started my fashion brand, how you can start your fashion brand, and how we made it to New York Fashion Week. I've been getting a lot of questions about, how we made it, how we started, and I figured now would be a great time to just let you guys in on the tea. Let's get into it. Let's get into all these questions I've been getting. So if you haven't done so already, consider hitting that like and subscribe button down below. On my channel, we talk about beauty, fashion, finance, the trifecta. You can't have one without the other. So if that's something that you might be interested in, consider hitting that like and subscribe button down below, and let's get started. So first question I'm always getting is, how did we start a fashion brand? What made us start? What happened? How did we get here? So to answer that question, I think it's more about where we saw our business going. Myself and Sophia, my business partner, we started as daycare owners. So we bought a daycare center, and after about 4 years, we had scaled that business to 3 different schools. But as we started running the business, you kind of realize there's nowhere else to go with a daycare center besides another daycare center. And if you think about daycare centers, it's staffing. It's something that you kind of have to be hands-on. And we wanted something that kind of can keep growing even if we weren't always being so hands-on, if you understand what I'm saying. And that's what I think is a very important part of having a business. Where can you scale this business? So once we had the daycare centers, we realized that there's really nowhere else to go with a daycare center besides another daycare center. And we didn't really want to do that. So one night we came home from work after a long day dealing with 150 children. We just started thinking about, like, what else can we do? What else can we start that is going to scale off of our daycare centers? So in our heads, we were thinking, shoes. We were thinking about, curriculums. We were thinking about, accessories, book bags. And then one of us had the great idea, like, what if we did clothes? Kids are easy to dress, they like clothes, they like colors. We love dressing kids. Like, I can't find anything in my closet, but trust and believe for my nieces, I love dressing them. So we were like, why not do kids clothing? So that was the birth of an idea. Next, we had to think of a name. We had all these like cute little names, something diva, fashionista, whatever. But it's hard to think of a name when it's not close to you, close to your heart. So we started playing with different names, and we came up with the name Zeus and Lexi because we had 2 dogs, those were our children. So we decided to name our fashion line after them. So it's Zeus and Lexi Kids. And that's how we got started. It just came from wanting more, wanting to scale, wanting something that, we could use our creativity with, something that could be really ours, and something that we had the love for. We were always dressing nieces, nephews, the kids, and we just thought it would be a great idea to just start something that was ours. So the birth of Zeus and Lexi Kids. Another question I got was, how did you come up with an idea for a design, or how did you start the actual inventory part? When you're coming up with a fashion line, first you have to decide, do you want to do something like wholesaling? Do you want to have a boutique? Do you want something that you create yourself? Or have something that you buy wholesale and then put your design on? There's a lot of different factors when coming out with your own clothing line that you have to decide. I would definitely say that less is more. So when you think of, a loungewear, or when you think of it like an athletic wear or a sweatshirt or anything, they're basically using the same sweatshirt, just different colors, and just putting their design on it. For us with kids, we wanted to do something a little bit different, so we actually started with actual clothes. So we started off with little dresses, little jumpers, little 2-piece sets, and that's when we started designing and realizing what our actual style is. Our actual style is more simplistic. I find like kids nowadays are going more towards neutrals. They don't want all those colors. The parents don't want all those colors. It doesn't go with their color scheme. So that's basically where we went with our design. We wanted to keep it affordable, but still looking high-end and classy for kids, but still fun and functional. Also, a lot of things that went into our brand was sustainability. Some families have more than one child, so they want something that they can actually easily pass down, that stands the test of wear and tear, washing, rough housing, playgrounds, whatever it is. They wanted something cute, comfortable, and sustainable. So that's something that we actually put our effort into. And I think with anybody starting a clothing line, whether it's for adults or kids or whatever it is, think, what does your audience want? What are the people that are buying from you? What do they want? What I usually do if I'm looking at like a clothing line or anything that I'm interested in, I go right down on Instagram into the comments. What are the comments of the people who actually bought this item? What are their feedback? What are they saying? Sometimes they'll say, oh, you know, it runs kind of small. Oh, you know, mine got a tear in it. So that's something that you know to make sure that your clothing line has different. So to make sure that you're feeding your audience the things that they want. So I think that's a very big part of it when coming up with a design. If you want to do like sweatshirts and you want something that's creative, what is something that, you know, your audience is looking for? Do they want something with pockets? Do they want something warm for the winter? So I would go towards a clothing line or someone that's doing something like how you want to do it, and look at their comments and see what people actually like about their product and what things they don't like about the product, and see where you can find that middle ground to come up with your own. For my clothing brand, we needed sketches filled out, we needed tech packs, then we did go overseas for bulk items to be made. But you have to keep in mind the timing. You have to think of the season that you're creating for. So usually when we start creating for like spring, we'll start in the fall, okay? Because you have to keep in mind the amount of time it takes to get your packages, amount of time it takes to go back and forth with things that you like, you don't like, you want changed. So even if you're doing something like loungewear or athletic wear, keep in mind what season you are designing for and the time frame it's gonna take. I would say for anybody that's starting out, give yourself at least 6 months. So if you start designing in fall, make sure it's gonna be like for the spring. Skip at least 2 seasons to give yourself time. You're gonna have to go back and forth about the color, the stretch, you know, the hardware, the overall design, thinking of a logo. Things like that take time. So give yourself time. Do not rush yourself, because you're just gonna like end up beating yourself up when it's not done in time. If you give yourself enough seasons in between for like some wiggle room, you're gonna feel like, okay, I'm on track. I feel like when a lot of people are, you know, starting a business or a clothing line or whatever it is, they're thinking of the right now, but you gotta take into account the planning process, how long it's going to take to actually get your stuff manufactured, how long it's going to take you to figure out things like marketing, because these things are essential for building your business and you're going to need it. And you set yourself up for failure if you're not planning ahead. So another person asked, how do we actually get our name out there? Especially with us guys, I think what helped get our name out there was doing pop-up shops. Pop-up shops are very important when doing your business. I think it's something that's going to actually put yourself out there without the commitment. So we did a lot of pop-up shops, and usually pop-up shops, either they're free to get in, or maybe you have to pay a fee to like have your table and sell your things. So the fee usually goes between like maybe $200 and $400. You're gonna see what people are gravitating towards without doing your whole line or, you know, getting everything out in bulk. I would do that with a few items. So like if you're ordering from like overseas, when you're doing your samples, make sure they're doing a sample in every color, so that when you go to a pop-up shop, you see what people are gravitating towards. Are they going towards the jumpsuit that has the stretch? Are they going towards a certain color? Are they going towards, you know, the feel, the texture? That's when you get to actually put yourself in front of customers, that they can feel it, touch it, try it on, and see what their feedback is. When we did our first pop-up shop, we had kids coming to our clothes, and you would see that they gravitate towards the pink, they'll gravitate towards the nudes or whatever color they like, and you get an idea. That's when you get to ask them questions. You know, what do you like about it? What would you change about it? Do you like the little detailing in the back? Do you want a little shimmer? Like, what do you like about the product? And it's good to do that with like your sample items, because you can make changes overseas before they actually ship out your bulk item to see, you know, what the kids are liking, what they're not liking. You know, does it need an extra string? Is it too tight or too loose on the side so that it's not shaped? Things like that are things you can find out when doing pop-up shops. And that's how we got the ball rolling. Also, you guys know that at this point in time, there is no avoiding social media. You have to put yourself out there. You have to start your social media. And guys, let me tell you a story, okay? When we first started, of course, we started putting our stuff on TikTok, on Instagram. Make sure you're taking a lot of videos and pictures of your items, because that's how people are gonna see how the item moves, how they feel wearing it. And make sure that you are investing a lot into like pictures of your items, whether it's lay flats or you're taking them yourselves. Go on YouTube and research how to take a good lay flat. Get some ideas on how to take pictures of your items, guys. Make sure the lighting is good. Make sure your angles are good, okay? Make sure that you have a lot of footage of your item. People can see it, and you have a lot of content to show on social media. Now, when we first started, we put everything on, you know, TikTok, on Instagram. In the beginning, guys, it was crickets, okay? And don't be afraid of the crickets. Don't be afraid of the silence. People are watching your stuff. We'd have like a lot of views and not that many likes, and eventually people started liking it, sharing it, you know. And before you know it, we actually had two different people from that have like shows on TV that came to our clothes, right? I mean, it's crazy how social media works. You never know who's watching your stuff. This person would constantly like it, you know, they like it, you see the views, you see this person watching. Once then one day they actually contacted us, and she actually has a show on Hulu, and she was like, you know, my daughter loves your line, you know, I would love to order this stuff for the kids, we would love to shout you out. And that's kind of how we started getting our name out there. Maybe a year later, someone else with like a lot of followers who has a TV show also contacted us and was like, you know, we love your jackets, we love this, we love that. And yeah, it just kept going, guys. And you'd be surprised when these people contact you, they have a lot of followers. So when they see your stuff on these people, more people start buying, asking questions, following, sharing, and before you know it, you have a full-fledged business. With putting yourself out there also, I would definitely say to utilize friends and family. If you're coming out with a sweatshirt line and you finally perfect your design and you finally decide on how you want it and you ordered in bulk, don't be afraid to give a few away so that people can actually see your item. It's a kids line, so I would definitely, if I could fit the clothes, I would definitely be wearing it all over, but I can't. So that's when I utilize, you know, friends, their children, nieces, nephews, to have people asking questions about your line. So the next question I got was about marketing. How did we market? Did we do Instagram reels? Did we do, you know, Facebook ads? To be honest with you guys, when we got started, we wanted to try everything. We wanted to market everywhere, but honestly, it wasn't always in the budget. You know, you want to invest a certain amount in your business, but when you're putting so much towards inventory, I understand marketing is going to be expensive, especially when you do Instagram ads or Facebook ads. So make sure that you are utilizing what's free out there, guys. They now have a, I think it's called Amazon Homemade. I would definitely look into that. We started doing that. We started marketing on TikTok, TikTok Shop, definitely Reels, Instagram, everything like that. Social media is going to be your best friend. That's how we did most of our marketing. Honestly, for us to do like ads and stuff like that, you have to do a photo shoot, and photo shoots are expensive. You know, we did do a few photo shoots, but make sure that you are doing what you can. That's the free route first, and then, you know, get yourself out there. All marketing is going to be good marketing. I feel like just put yourself out there. TikTok videos, talk about your brand. Don't be afraid to be annoying. Different eyes are on your stuff every day, and you're not always talking to the same people. I would definitely say Amazon, Shopify. We started with Etsy. I didn't have a lot of success with Etsy, so I don't know if I would recommend it, but to each his own. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Just market everywhere and you're gonna see the growth. Okay, somebody asked what's the hardest part of starting a clothing line or a business. I think the hardest part, honestly, is holding yourself accountable for the mistakes that happen, what doesn't happen, when it doesn't do well, or when something's not done on time. With other businesses, I feel like it's easy to point the finger. Oh, this person didn't deliver on time. This person didn't do this on time. But when you have a business or something that you are growing that's yours, you have to take accountability for what you could have done different, what you didn't do on time. You know, did you choose to be lazy about it? Did you put your all into it? I think that's the hardest part, because when you have a business like a clothing line, in all honesty, everything stops with you, okay? It all starts and stops with you. If you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it in your business. If it doesn't happen, if the design isn't right, if, you know, the sizing is off, whatever it is, it's your fault. And it's okay to say, you know, I take responsibility, but I learned from my mistake and I'm going to change that later. A lot of people like to point the finger at, you know, this person didn't do it right, this person didn't do it, you know, the TikTok algorithm is against me, Instagram hates me. You can't, when you do a business, when you're starting a business, when you have a baby that you want to grow, when you have that empire you're trying to build, you got to take responsibility for what you did, you didn't do, what you could have did different, and just learn from it. It's okay to make mistakes, but it's not okay to keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. I think that's the definition of insanity, they say. So let's get it together, okay? It's okay to make mistakes. Everything is a growing process, but you just got to realize that, you know, you have to put your all in. You can't blame anybody for anything that's happening or isn't happening for you. You just have to keep going, keep growing, keep learning, and don't give up. I would definitely say that's the biggest thing. So the next question was, how do we get into Fashion Week? I don't know. Guys, when I say we were just going about life, just being consistent, and we had just finished sending out our packages to, you know, we had just finished our bulk order for Christmas. We were just, you know, packaging them, sending them out. And one day we got a phone call, and not gonna lie, guys, it said New York Fashion Week. I'm like, oops, scam. Let's pass that, scam. So I ignored the call maybe twice. I ignored the call twice. And when I finally picked up, she was just like, you know, we saw your stuff online, you know, we'd love to have you in New York Fashion Week. And in my back of my head, I was still like, this is a scam. Are you serious? New York Fashion Week, are we ready? And, you know, she went over the details on what it would be, you know, how, you know, what would be required, how many looks and everything like that. And I got off the phone, and me and my, you know, my business partner were talking about it, and my initial reaction was no. I was like, no, we're not ready. We're not ready. We don't have it. We're not ready. We're not established enough. You know, we don't have enough inventory. We don't have. And that's the funny thing about it, guys, is sometimes when you feel like you're not ready, you know, there's God there telling you that you are. You know, he's not going to put you in a position where you're not prepared. You're not going to thrive. You're not going to do good. And you just have to walk with that. You have to just be okay with that. So it's okay to, you know, be afraid and say no, or be nervous. You can't let that fear overtake you. You don't know what this door opening could mean. You don't know what this opportunity could mean. So I feel like, you know, yes, my initial reaction was no, we're not ready. But somewhere in the back of my head was like, you know, this opportunity wouldn't come to us if we weren't ready. You know, she wouldn't have found us if we weren't ready. So that's how it happened. You know, we got a phone call offering us this position, this slot, and this opportunity. And, you know, although my fear, I didn't let my fear overtake me. And that's a big thing, guys. I think a lot of people, when they're starting a business, you feel like you're not ready. When you get bulk orders, you're not ready. When, you know, somebody wants something, or they asking for something different, or they ask if you do accessories, the first thing you say is no, we don't have that yet. We're just, be okay with transitioning. Be okay with pushing yourself and putting yourself out there, because you never know what opportunities are going to lie. And don't be afraid when these opportunities actually come to you. Like, even when, you know, somebody from TV actually went to wear our stuff, they were like, okay, we need 10 jackets in 2 days. Don't you? And before we could say no, you know, we didn't say no. We just said, okay, you know, we got it going. And when I say we grinded to like 3 o'clock in the morning doing these jackets to make sure they were out there, because it was such a big opportunity, we did what we had to do. And I think that's the main thing when, you know, you're putting yourself out there, or you're getting opportunities. You know, just put in the work. Don't be afraid to put in the work, guys. It's going to come to you. These opportunities are going to come to you, and you're going to be so thankful, and you're going to be so surprised that you're even capable of doing it. Like, you never know what you're capable of until you put yourself out there and just do it. So I would definitely say, don't be afraid. Don't let the no's hold you back, okay? Don't let those no's hold you back. Keep going for it. Keep striving, and you're going to do well. Okay, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope I answered all of your questions. Let me know if you have any more below, and we'll discuss them. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe at the bottom, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.